It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness Godzillathon.
Ghidorah the three-headed monster is one of the most important entries in the Godzilla series because it's the first to introduce Ghidorah, a three-headed dragon from outer space who shoots lightning at his mouth. He doesn't even have to, he just flies over stuff and the wind destroys everything. There's that pagoda again. Well, Ghidorah would become the most popular recurring villain in the Godzilla series and would later be referred to as Ghidorah. They also bring back Rodan, a pterodactyl sort of creature, and this is Rodan's second film, but first to appear alongside Godzilla. Now, throughout the film, Martians control the mind of a princess and use her voice to speak to the people of Earth and warn of the monster crisis. Meanwhile, there's assassins trying to kill the princess, so why couldn't the Martians choose somebody who's not a target? Godzilla and Rodan spend the whole movie fighting, further proof that Godzilla can't get along with anybody. This is my favorite part right here. Watch, it's the dick drop. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Also, when Rodan yanks on his tail, it's like his head is connected to every movement. So Japan's got all these monsters trampling around, so something's gotta be done. The twin fairies call upon the last offspring of Mothra to come back and be the peacemaker. The other one's supposed to be dead, more or less out of convenience, so there's only one Mothra again. So Mothra goes and tries to talk to Godzilla and Rodan, who are too busy playing volleyball with a boulder. After a few blasts from her web, she gets their attention. One of my favorite moments of the whole series, Rodan has a good chuckle at Godzilla first, then when he gets it too, Godzilla laughs his ass off. Applying human traits to these monsters is where it started to gear towards the younger audience. It's a great scene, and they all sit around and do monster talk while the twin fairies translate for us.
Oh, Godzilla, what terrible language!
Unable to get them to cooperate, Mothra goes to fight Ghidorah on her own, gets her ass handed to her, and then Godzilla and Rodan join in. It's 3 monsters against 1, and this is where the monster Rumble was born. It's no wonder why this movie was such a big success. 3 heads are better than 1, and 4 monsters are better than 2.
It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness Godzillathon.
In the 1960s, the theme of space exploration was very popular. The original Star Trek TV series is one major example, and that's kind of how this feels, like a Star Trek episode with a little bit of Godzilla thrown in. But just for the record, this came out first. The title is usually referred to as Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, but it's also known as Invasion of the Astro Monster and just simply Monster Zero. It's also interesting to note that American actor Nick Adams is the only one speaking English, so he's not dubbed over. The plot involves the discovery of a new planet near Jupiter. It's called Planet X. On this planet they meet a friendly race who are under attack by a monster which they've nicknamed Monster Zero. But surprise, surprise, it's Ghidorah. The people of Earth agree to let them borrow Godzilla and Rodan to help battle Ghidorah, so they transport the two of them to the surface of Planet X to fight. It's pretty awesome because it's the only Godzilla fight to happen somewhere other than Earth. Their first match here is a victory and Ghidorah retreats. Oh my god, what the hell is he doing? This victory dance is one of the most famous moments of the whole franchise because it has no purpose in the film and it's completely ridiculous. So the people of Planet X have something else up their sleeves. Ghidorah was in their control all along. Using magnetic waves, they also take control of Godzilla and Rodan and unleash all 3 monsters on Earth. I guess don't ever help an alien because all they want to do is take over the world.
Of course!
Knock it off!
Well, it's Godzilla's first movie being a good guy from the very start, but already, again, he's a bad guy. But not for long. The people of Earth find a way to break the aliens' command, and then all the monsters return to their normal selves. And what's that mean? They fight. Mothra was originally scheduled to join the madness, but the budget was getting out of hand, so she got scrapped. Anyway, this is a pretty good one, a little heavy on the sci-fi, but that's all great stuff. Check it out. Oh yeah, we gotta see the dance again. That's awesome.
It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness Godzillathon.
Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster involves a group of people who get stranded on an island where there's a secret organization producing nuclear weapons. They capture anyone living on the island and use them as slaves. Nobody can escape because the bad guys also have a giant monster named Ebra under their control who guards the island. Lucky for the good guys, they find Godzilla sleeping in a cave, so they wake him up by attracting a bolt of lightning with a sword. and from there he does battle with the enemy planes, tramples on their base, and fights Ebra. Godzilla looks like the Cookie Monster, and he likes volleyball. This is pretty awkward. And doesn't the music kind of sound like James Bond? Even Mothra makes an appearance in adult form and has a brief encounter with Godzilla. He also fights a giant bird, which is probably the worst Godzilla fight ever because you can't even see what's going on. Should have been the giant claw. Originally, Godzilla's part was written for King Kong. Yeah, after King Kong vs. Godzilla, Toho followed it up with King Kong Escapes, in which Kong fights Robot Kong. But then they were going to have Kong star in this movie, but decided that Godzilla would be more profitable. When you watch the movie, it seems obvious. First of all, they wake Godzilla with electricity, just like in King Kong vs. Godzilla. But that was originally written for Frankenstein. So wow, from Frankenstein to King Kong to Godzilla. Also, Godzilla sort of has a curious romantic interest in a human female, which is another trait that's more like Kong. This tends to be a weak entry in the series. Godzilla doesn't even wake up until like an hour in. So if you want a few laughs, go for it. Otherwise, stay away.